All right. You're in the shot, and the half-naked, beaten-up woman's in the background. Okay, cool. That's my thesis I had. Anyway, it's like, you got crumsies on you. Anyway, so you did have like some stuff on your shirt. Anyway, so we saw Endgame. I was about to say we finally saw it. It does seem like we saw it like weeks after everyone because like after
It's only been 3 days.
it's only been 3 days because it's like so many people are like, I'm going to the midnight screen, I'm seeing it tonight, like Thursday 7 p.m. one of those kind of things. It's just like, no, the Fandango website didn't allow me to get those tickets. Not that I would have gotten those anyway, but we saw it on a Saturday. Wake up. So, as you can see, my friend here is half awake. No, we didn't fall asleep during it, and it didn't. No. And I was, like I said, I was really worried you weren't gonna get here in time because I was like, I'm sorry, I love you, man, but I think this friendship's over. And on our next trip, I would just be looking at you the whole time, like,
going somewhere?
I was like,
where you going?
Right? Like, oh, you missed Endgame? But yeah, the movie didn't feel like 3 hours. As someone who's seen the Lord of the Rings movies in theater a bunch of times, it didn't feel like 3 hours. As someone who sat through the Lord of the Rings movies extended editions multiple times, it didn't feel like 3 hours. No, not at all. And of course, we'll go into spoilers later. This, of course. But non-spoiler wise, I enjoyed it. We were talking about it earlier that this, is a good end to everything, and I was telling him I compared it to kind of how, like, the movie Logan, where, there was a lot of parts that you were happy, you're sad, you're cheering, but in the end, you're just like, you're kind of like, all right, this is the end. Thank you. Like, you do one of those, you're like, thank you, and then you're done, Yeah, it's heartfelt, it's hurtful, but not, like, rip out hurtful. It's more hurtful in a way that because it's over, because
Exactly.
we've had, was this like 10, 12 bajillion years, 20 plus movies, like, it's the MCU is older than our friendship, how dare it be. It's been a while, it's been some time, you've garnered this connection to all these people, these characters, the actors in the movies and all that stuff. It's just the connection to it. So when it ended, it's like, like, as if you can never watch it again. As if you can't buy another ticket, as if, when it comes out on like Blu-ray and stuff, and like my ass isn't gonna buy it or something. So, yeah, but, like, again, it was one of those, like, it was a journey, all that stuff. I did tear up a bit. Not like that woman in China, if you guys haven't read that article, where she had to be hospitalized because she, like, according to the headline was just that because she was crying so hard. Turns out because she was just crying so much that she was hyperventilating, so she's like, so she didn't know to do her woosah. She didn't woosah. That was her problem. She didn't do the woosah because she was just like, apparently. And she had to be hospitalized due to her breathing issue, and I think they just needed, like in what's the movie Airplane, where they're like, calm down, and it's like a bunch of people
going OD.
Right, and because it's China,
everybody's smacking the shit out of her.
And because it's China, there's enough people to smack her and go one at a time. Ma'am. Yeah, well, I didn't go that far. The girl sitting next to me in the theater, she was all like snuggled with her guy, and every so often when something obviously emotional would happen, I just see her kind of like bury in a little bit more, where I would be there like pull it together, put more nachos in your mouth, By the time, when I ran out of nachos, I was like, I can't do it, which is why I held your hand. I was like, I can't shove nachos in my mouth anymore to keep myself from, like, feeling emotion, so I'm just gripping his hand like a woman in labor, but not as much as, like, in the episode of Fresh Prince with Aunt Viv, when she, like, ripped the cushion. Do you remember? She was like, and you're like, oh my god, and everyone, like, what was it, they followed the trail of guys with broken hands? I love that episode.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was like, that's what it's like to give birth. Yes, she was like, just letting me know, like, yeah.
That's what you did to me.
You ruined me. You ruined me. And I'm like, God damn, Mom, I take care of you. So yes, anything you want to say non-spoiler related about the movie?
It's definitely a journey.
Yes.
You know, and you get a very satisfactory ending.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's the way I felt. I don't know. Other people would just be like, "Oh, more," you know.
Well, you know, people are always
the end game, so
right. You know, people are gonna nitpick because it's up to the point where, like, before, like, when we got the first Iron Man movie, we were just like, "Oh my god, yeah!"
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then when we got like Iron Man 2, and then we got like Captain, we're like, "Oh my god!" We were just like, "Oh my god, they did it right!" Like, we were just happy they did it right because it wasn't like Daredevil or Fantastic Four or something like that. Any of the 3 Fantastic Four movies, or even the old ones, you're like, "Oh, sweet!" And then like the Avengers, that one happened, and people were like, "Oh my god, you could put all these characters into one thing and it can work!" And we're like, "Yeah!" And then after that, people started to nitpick a lot more, and they're like, according to issue number, and it's like, oh, okay. Just gotta scroll past this post here. Yeah. You know, you're just like, ooh, someone wrote a novel. Scroll past.
Yeah, it's just
Where's that button to block the post? There you go. Never see that again. Yeah. After that, people started nitpicking and all that stuff. But anyway, yes. So we're gonna go into spoilers. 1, 2, 3. Spoilers. So, if you okay, so we're into spoilers. If you didn't read the comics, you know, on Infinity War, or know obviously like how these things happen in not even just the Marvel comic realm, but just in comic worlds in general. You know they're all gonna come back. You all knew they were gonna come back.
big surprise.
Right. And that was the thing with, after Infinity War, there were some people, like, I remember when I was leaving the theater from Infinity War, and people were like, well, how is that gonna work because Spider-Man's got a new movie coming out? That doesn't make sense. Is that gonna happen before Infinity War? I was like, maybe, honey, maybe. Things happen before, like, you're kind of like, it's okay. Like, they're trying to, like, they think they have the upper hand on Marvel.
Yeah.
Like, they have the upper hand on, like, Kevin Feige, like, you know, like, really? Like, I like how they were like, I got it. If they're all dead, that doesn't work. Because I remember seeing, like, those posts, and I'm like, honey, have you read a comic? Like, again, it doesn't have to be the Marvel comics. Any comic in the world. It's like what we were talking about, like, the whole realm of comics, there's the logic of no one stays dead except for Uncle Ben. You know? It's like no one stays dead.
As long as you remember that,
yeah,
you're fine.
So you could freak out all you want when you're reading your comic, but, you know, then, like, the next set of writers and artists comes in with a new round of issues, you can be like, cool, you know, like, Cap is back or something, you know? So you're like, just dial it back a little, just calm it down. Yeah, but yeah, they all come back, which was great. Like, you know, we knew it was gonna happen, but when it did happen, it was one of those, like, we did it! Because they cued the third act music, and we were like, yes! It was one of those moments, because you want that. Because, again, because of the previous movie being so gut-wrenching with how it ended, because of all their movies, like, all of their movies, that's the first time they've lost. You know, because even in any of the movies, any of their situations,
they always come out on top.
Right, it's always the thing of, like, you fall down, but you get back up. The Cap thing of, like, you get back up. No matter what, you fall down, you get back up. In this one, they fell down, and not a lot of them got back up. You know? And again, yes, it was gut-wrenching, and like I said, like, I just didn't know how to process it, because it's like, again, I knew it was coming, but it was still very, like, oh, okay. And then afterwards, I just wandered around Target because I just didn't know what to do with myself. Because I couldn't go straight home. I literally couldn't go straight home. And I just, like, I got out of the theater because I was by myself because you weren't in the country at the time. So I was like, I don't know what to do. So I was like, well, there's a target there. I just walk around with an empty basket. Like, what do I do with myself? Like to freaking totally traumatized. But anyway, no, it was fucking awful. But, you know, again, like, because you have such a connection with these characters, so with seeing them back, we're just like, yes! Seeing all the freaking Wakandans, you know, all that stuff, you know, like, every single person show up. And again, like, you knew they were going to show up, but just them showing up one at a time to be like, I'm part of this battle, I'm part of this battle. And you're like, and then you see baby boy Spider-Man, and he's like, hey, Mr. Stark, and you're like, ah! Like, you're like, you're such a little boy, put you in my pocket, you know? Like, everyone's showing up, and you're like, fuck yeah, you know? Like, we're gonna defeat Thanos. Like, now, this is how we were supposed to do it previously, you know? But just, obviously, you know, they never encountered a force like that before, you know? So, again, it makes sense that they lost, because he did have the upper hand on them in so many ways, you know? Exactly. But again, you know, 3-hour movie, very much kind of, each hour is kind of cut up into its own act kind of thing. Again, didn't feel like 3 hours. So, you know...
The pacing was just really good.
Yeah, and you know, you hear that, people who did Hellboy? Pacing. Because I love how that was the last movie we saw, and also the last comic book movie we saw. So it was like, ooh... Because that movie felt longer than this one.
Yeah.
That movie felt longer than this one. I think it's also because I was cringing the whole time. This one I was just like, like gripping on, you know, and then you're like, yeah, you know. Oh my god.
The pacing was superb, just like when you said, like, each act was pretty much on cue.
Right.
You know, like, as you're going through this roller coaster event, you know, you feel everything, you laugh, you cry, and all that stuff, and then you're just like, okay.
Yeah. You're like,
damn, what's going to happen now? And then you realize, like, okay, music's on.
Yes. The theme song.
It's about to go down now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's that midnight hour now.
You're like, is that the third act? Like, you cue the third act music? Oh, yeah, bitch, let me get my boots on. Like, let's do it. Yeah.
Exactly. Time to get my game face on.
Exactly.
When it gets real, you know?
They started off the movie, like, full cold opening with Hawkeye losing his family. And you were like, damn, son, we're 5 minutes in. You're going to do me like that?
Yeah, I was pissed. I was like, you sons of bitches. Like, just go right for the gut. From the start. Like,
he's teaching his daughter how to, like, do archery.
Yeah,
they're, like, having hot dogs outside.
Kids are talking about, you know, things they like to put on their hot dogs.
You know, family
mayo,
shit. Yeah.
Mustard and all types of weirdness. Yeah. And they're just like, oh, you know, this is whatever. And then you're like, because as soon as you see that, you already know what's going to happen. I'm just like...
And they do it so well because they kind of do it in like a one... Not a full one take, but a thing where like they follow Jeremy Renner. So he kind of is like, okay, like you follow him, then he turns. And then his daughter's not there. And like real quick, you just see like the...
Yeah,
like the dust go, just real quick.
Yeah, because just off into the distance.
Just like off to the side. Like it's like let's say Renner's where Paul is, and then like the dust is like kind of where my hand is. It's just real quick, like that, and then everyone in the audience is like, oh,
yeah, because
you know this is beforehand because he hasn't had the haircut yet.
Right.
But at the same time, it's because. Obviously, because Ant-Man had his movie where you saw how everyone got the snap and, you know, because Black Widow was part of it, blah, blah, blah. Everyone else, again, had their own movie, or in the movie, and he was, like, the one person that we didn't see during that. Because even, again, with the after credits scene, we saw what happened with Fury and Colby Smulders' character. I think I forgot her. Maria Hill, that's it. Yeah. I was like, what's her character? I was about to say Robin, that's her character in How I Met Your Mother. Because I'm smart like that. Anyway, but like he's the only one you didn't see what happened during the snap, and he snapped. Like, you know, like that show on what's that, like ID TV or something? It's like, and that's when she snapped. Like he snapped, and that's when he became Ronin, which I was like really glad that they were gonna have him go, oh my god, do that character where he goes He goes ham. He goes rogue. He fucking loses his shit because he loses his family.
Completely off the reservation.
Yeah, and he was like,
or cartel.
He went to
ran human trafficking rings, anything like that.
Oh yeah, he kind of pulled like
he was getting that work.
He kind of pulled like didn't in the comic he worked with like the Punisher at one point, because that's like very similar Punisher storyline stuff.
I don't know exactly if he worked with him, but I know several people were Ronin throughout the the lexicon of the character, but.
Right, I remember it was like something where it's like something similar to... Anyway, that's not the point. We're not talking about the comics itself. But he kind of did what the Punisher is known for, which is killing like organized crime members and stuff. So he kind of like went around and did that. But, you know, he didn't go guns a-blazing. He had his freaking sword, which was like...
Sword and a bow and just...
Yep.
Offing fools.
Yep. Just going ham. Like...
He was surgical with that goddamn sword. Oh, Lord.
Well, again, he's Hawkeye, so he never misses.
Oh, damn.
It's like you even see the scene in the tunnel where he's like, he's turning this way, but he already had his arrow pointing that way, you know? Because he's always like, he knows where his targets are.
Yep.
But yeah, they start off the movie fucking full-on fucking cold opening, you know, with that. And yeah, like I said, the moment that happened, the audience was like, oh. And like, we were like, God damn. And we were like, come on, man, 5 minutes in, I can't already be crying.
Yeah, dude.
Like, come on. I had a pile of tissues because I was like, again, because...
You can't go in there thinking you're gonna be safe. No.
Right.
You got, they knew exactly where to hit you.
Oh, yeah, it's cool.
Because the scene, that opening is just long enough for you to be like, oh, you know, at least, you know Hawkeye's in a good thing and this, that.
Oh, he's got the house arrest ankle thing.
So, you know, he's having family time, not realizing his family time was when the whole world was getting ready to go to shit.
Yep.
Also, the whole universe, that is.
Right, true. What was it that, like, didn't they say it's like, oh, it's been, like, besides the cold opening, then the movie said, like, it's been, was it, like, 2 weeks or something since... Or something like that, where it's like, it's been only like a few days after the big snap.
Yes,
and then, of course, Captain Marvel had already arrived because, of course, in the previous movie, she showed up. Whatchamacallit. And so they're trying to, like, figure things out, and then, then it's them being like, okay, let's, like, the thing you see in the commercial, like, that's another thing I really like, is that all the stuff in the trailer, a good chunk of it is what's in the first 20 minutes.
Yep.
Like, that's how you fucking do it. And there's some stuff, like, real sneaky stuff here and there from, like, the third act, but, like, you
won't know it until after you saw the movie.
No. Yeah, exactly. Because in the trailer where Cap pulls on his armband tight, it's a lot zoomed in, so you don't see the broken shield, or like they CG the shield back in, you know, so you don't know that he's fucked. But yeah, after that, like, yeah, the first 20 minutes is the whole thing where you're like, oh god, you know, Tony Stark's gonna, you know, die in space, and then lovely Cap Marvel comes in and she saves the day, which I'm like, yes, bitch. Because literally, if it wasn't for her, how else would they have gotten him back, sorry. You know, literally, how else would they have gotten him back? Because all the Guardians of the Galaxy, like, the rest of them are gone. Yep. So there's no one, like, in space that can help them, you know? And then Nebula's there, and she's like, what the fuck else am I supposed to do? And you were commending them on, like, making him skinny. Because how, you know, normally he's a little bit
basically all, like, you know...
starved.
Malnourished and fucking dehydrated.
Right.
You know, literally adrift in space. With a machine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she's just there, you know, and he's just there like, hey, I'm dying extremely slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm passing out.
The surviving team gets together, and, you know, Captain America. Captain Marvel is like, well, fuck it. Let's just go get Thanos.
Yeah.
And, again, within that first, like, 30 minutes, you're just like, we saved, like, it's like, I was about to say Renner, but Hawkeye's family goes away. He loses it, so we all know that. The surviving Avengers are like, okay, cool, we got Iron Man back. And then we go and find Thanos on his retirement thing, as Rhodey said, his retirement home, and then we kill him immediately. which
no bullshit.
No bullshit. They cut his arm off.
They subdue him, take the arm, everything, and then they just off his head.
Yeah, and he was like, I went for the head, and it's like, okay, cool. You took all those memes everyone used, and you went for it. Yeah, I like that you heard some people in the audience that were kind of like, oh, what? Huh? And it's like, yes, movie over, the end. Like, come on, honey.
Get it together, people.
Come on. We know how these movies work. Exactly. But, again, I think that was smart of them to do that.
Right.
To be like...
everybody thought they knew how the movie was going to end. And this is just them playing tricks on all those people who think they're smarter than that.
Right, which they're like, we're actually going to kill him. Mm-hmm. Technically kill him twice. Yeah. You know, because they were like, now they're like, okay, we know how to get him, so we'll kill him like this. Mm-hmm. Again, because it's like, fool me once, shame on you, da-da-da. Right. So it's like, they got him, and then now they're just like, okay, now what do we do? And here comes the part where we were talking about earlier, where it'll probably lose some people who, again, don't understand certain comic logic. So where they decide to deal with time travel. And... for us who've read comics a bajillion times, time travel is like a normal thing in comic world, which is why, again, no one's ever dead, like fully dead, in a comic book series. So, you know, like, it's happened, again, in the Marvel Universe, it's happened in the DC Universe, it's happened, like, all over, you know? So, you know, the whole idea of how to combat Thanos is to go back in time and take the Infinity Stones. And so if they take the Infinity Stones, so then Thanos can't get hold of it. So when Thanos is looking, like, so it's like, okay, I'm just going around. I'm going around the corner in a car. What? Sorry. Sorry, I'm so emotionally broken that I don't know how to explain the movie. So pretty much it's like, if we're in possession of the Infinity Stones, we can just then go and kill Thanos, because no matter what, you know, in the timeline of how time is, he's still gonna want to he's still gonna want to find these Infinity Stones. Right. So it's not like if we have them, it's like, okay, we got them, cool, bye, you know. But it's like, okay, we'll find, and then we'll kick his ass. But of course, you know, we all know it's not that easy. So easy enough that, you know, they all went and grabbed the stones in whichever way they did, but it also wasn't just like, cool, we're just gonna get that. You know, you're not at the farmer's market, you know? Yeah. You're not just like, oh, we'll just have a little blueberries and stuff. Yeah, okay, get a sample of that? Oh, that's really good. You know, it's not that easy. So it's like, again, oh, that's my butt. It's my butt. There. My mama's gotta take her pills. I'll do that later. So they go back in time, and again, kudos to the Russos with their good use of title cards. So it's like New York 2012, you know, when it's the first Avengers movie. So Cap goes back there, and he's wearing his original Cap suit because, of course, that's that bright-ass color suit he had in that first one. And it's funny when he runs into himself, and he's like, I've got Loki. He's like, I'm not Loki, I'm you. And then, like, they're fighting one another. He's like, this all day. And he's like, I know. I like that they, like... Because he says it in every movie. So he did that, and he's kind of like, this fucking kid right here. God, was I always this
annoying?
He was like...
Because he is himself, he knows exactly how to...
fight himself.
He knows how to get into his own head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he subdues him and whatnot.
It compliments his own butt?
Yeah, because they're like...
They're like, Tony, that suit's not good. Like, and he's like, oh, you make his ass look bad. And then what was it, like, Ant-Man's like, no, it's fine. What are you doing?
He's like, no, it's America's ass.
It's America's ass, yeah.
You know? And then Cap seated himself. He's like, yeah, I'm right, that is America's ass. He's like complimenting his own self. Like, yeah, why not? Fuck it, you know?
I mean, like, the internet compliments his ass enough. Like, why can't he, you know? They're like, okay, white boy, we kind of like it, you know?
There you go.
Yeah, it was great. That part was good. The whole thing of Hulk being like a controlled Banner Hulk, I just thought it was really funny because
that was awesome.
Well, I just find it adorable just to see the Hulk in a sweater and glasses, you know, because it's still Mark Ruffalo. So Mark Ruffalo is always just that kind of like the kind of like the cool professor look he always has because he's Mark Ruffalo. But then, like, him as the Hulk is just adorable. And then him being like, oh, kids, let's take a picture. Dab. Dab. You know? Listen to your mother. You know? Do you want a picture with me? I'm Ant-Man. Ooh. Stick the goddamn phone. I love Paul Rudd, man. He just wanted to enjoy his damn tacos, man.
Yeah, that was messed up.
He was just like...
Just there, go see this taco, and then, like, fucking...
Spaceship
lands, and then...
Roadie lands.
War Machine just comes in mad hot and blows the whole shit away. Yep. That's just me.
Oh my god.
But then the Hulk awesomely just comes by and is like,
here's two tacos.
You know, yeah. Like, aww.
Because no matter, as big as the Hulk is, he's still Banner, who is a sweet man. Yeah, which I thought was great because it's still the Hulk. Can't wait to see what those like toys look like.
Oh my!
Intellectual Hulk, anybody? You know? Oh my god. But yes, which I find so adorable. So, oh yeah. So blah 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 blah. Before that, it like there was the whole like it was 5 years later after all that stuff, which is smart to do that because you can't just go into we kill Thanos to suddenly time travel, you know?
Yeah, no.
That would have been too like.
There has to be some type of emotional pain that made them finally come to this decision of what to do now.
And I think 5 years is a good enough time that like Cap is in like grief counseling and all that stuff, and like one of those.
He's running the grief counseling.
Yeah, he's running the grief counseling. I'm a public speaker. He's running all that. Everyone else is just like Nat's like hair grew back out, so her red's back. I was wondering how they were gonna explain her red hair back, but that makes sense now for her to grow out. I remember someone like because in one of the trailers you see it, and someone was just like, they were like, "Oh, she's so mad she couldn't even do her roots." Which, as someone whose roots is coming in, I know how that feels. But anyway, it was just so funny. But yeah, it's 5 years is a good amount of time for them to be like, yes, time travel, and then for them to be like, fuck it, it's been 5 years. Like, were we just gonna, not all of us can drink a lot of beer and become Thor. I love that part. I love the part where they're trying to get everyone back, and then they go find Thor. And I love that they did this to him because, and obviously the first Thor movie and all that stuff, like every movie, you see the Hemsworth.
Yeah,
you see the Hemsworth, Right. Like that was, I remember seeing the first Thor movie in theaters, and in that scene when they show his like, like all the ladies in the theater were like, ooh, damn. And I remember one woman was like, ow, 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 and you just hear all the dudes like, oh, shut up, man. Fuck you. You know how many times I gotta see a bitch in like an outfit that doesn't make sense, but somehow it's like, oh, I'm in this bikini thong running in high heels, and somehow I ain't got my lips sticking out. You know what I mean? I ain't getting no chafing. I ain't getting a yeast infection from this thing happening. Somehow my 2-finger nipple covers are just there. You know what I'm saying? And if I say something, it's like, oh, you're fat, and like you're just jealous you don't look like that, like a bitch that has like, like a short leg, and like, because they can't draw anatomy of a woman correctly, It's like, oh, I'm jealous, but you see Hemsworth shirtless, and you're like, shut up, oh, blah, 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 blah. You guys are only looking for his body or something, and I'm like, You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck you, man. Like, just let us look at these men, for fuck's sakes. Like, Marvel knew, like, to be like, okay.
You want to get girls in the seats,
Right. They're like, women read enough comics, and we know you are mad to see, like, how, because it's, again, like, how the costumes were done on the Wakandans, like, on the women. Like, they weren't like, hi, we're Wakandans. Like, they were just like, yeah, it's armor. Like, we're good. Our titties are covered. Our midriffs are covered. Yeah.
We're here for war. We're not here for fashion show.
Right. And everyone was happy because of that, It's, and yes, we'll take a look at Hemsworth because it's fucking Hemsworth. Mm-hmm. But I love that because he's always so ripped, they had him be fat. Yeah, I love that they made him fat.
He's an emotional wreck.
He
He's a straight up emotional wreck.
What did Tony call him? Like Lebowski?
then the planning meeting, he pulls a fucking Weekend at Bernie's.
Right?
Just literally there like this, sleeping.
Right.
With
they're like,
the
is he dead?
In his hand and the shades.
Yeah, they're like, is he dead?
He's like, no. They're like, is he sleeping? Rhodey was like, no, I think he's dead.
Yeah. And Don Cheadle with those one-liners, man.
Yeah, he had some great ones in this.
Don Cheadle, well...
He had some great ones in
also,
this.
Don Cheadle, like, in general, in life, has had enough of this white shit. You know, this white nonsense. So, I feel like some of those comments were a little genuine. You know? Where it's like, Don Cheadle was just like, I know I'm in these movies, but what the fuck, white people? You know?
Get y'all shit together.
Yeah. It was in sweatpants and a hoodie and just like his beard's all kind of whatever. His
beard's all long and
like
crazy.
Like
hair's
gross.
All matted and fucking
like not
past
cute.
His shoulders.
Right, like not cute. Not before we had the gorgeous blonde hair. It was just like like he was starting to look like that white kid on campus with the dreads kind of thing. And you're like, no, I don't care. Your dad's a lawyer. No, you know.
Hacky sack champ.
I'm gonna play my acoustic guitar in the grassy knoll. Yes, that kind of fucking shit. Yeah, fuck those kids. But yeah, like I like that they went that direction. I love that they were like, yeah, let's have them be the fully fucked up. Like everyone else is fucked up, but you really like didn't even care. Like you're just gonna get fat and you're Thor. Right. You know, again, because everyone's just like, well, he's Thor. Because he's the one where all the ladies are like, oh yeah, Thor. But now he's like, I'm Thor and I like sandwiches, you know?
And beer.
And beer, and he's like playing Fortnite with freaking, what's his name, Korg.
Making Korg.
Yeah, and freaking, Taika Waititi.
And he threatens a kid up for the...
This is Thor? This is Thor? Yes, it's Thor. Something like, I will find where you live, blah, blah, blah.
I'll fly over there.
Yeah.
And beat you.
Yeah.
With the controller. In your parents' basement.
Oh, in your parents. And then he was like, yes, go, and run and cry. Okay, I've got it. Okay. Hopefully he doesn't bother you again. Yeah. And he was just like, okay, thanks, Mike. You know. I was like, oh, I love Taika. Although, kind of, it would have been like out of nowhere, and it would have just like kind of fucked with the tone of the movie, but it would have been funny if they had like a training montage for him to like, at least, like, not that he would suddenly get thin again, like, be ripped, but at least we're at one point
like
where...
he's trying to fit back into his...
Right, like, at one point where Rocket is just trying to make him do a sit-up. Like, just throw in, like, hopefully there's, like a thing in, like, the DVD extra kind of stuff, where there is, like, the 80s training montage thing. Because I would love that, just like, you know, I need a hero! Like, just have that song playing, him doing a little jump rope, or, like, having trouble, like, doing that, and just crying and eating a hamburger. I don't know. Though that's, like, the funny cut of it.
Just to see him, like, trying to fit back in his suit.
Right. Because...
Pulling on his pants and guts in the way.
Yeah. And it's just, he's all tummy, and I just love that. Again, and they gave him like boobage.
That's the thing. He is just, it's all stomach for him. You know, he's still got the guns.
But then he had his
chest is still big.
Well, he had they weren't like pecs, they were like boobies. And when he sat down, it was like blah, 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 blah. Which I have to say that was pretty fun makeup. Yeah, that was. I feel like of everyone, like I like the extreme of like. Hawkeye goes on a killing spree, and then like Thor got fat. I love that.
Very extreme.
Well, yeah, it's the whole thing where everyone handles grief differently, you know. And then then he had to go back further in the past and meet his own dad. He was like
all because Hulk hates stairs, mind you.
So many stairs! Oh my god.
Like, dude, why didn't you just jump off the building?
I was about to say, like, why didn't you jump off the building or just jump through that thing, you know? But whatever, man. Like, but I think it's that whole thing where, like, as much as he's Hulk Banner still in there, like, hey, man, maybe you should just walk down the stairs. And he's like, you know? Yeah. So yeah, he meets his own dad and all that stuff, and all the gut wrenching part of because it was back in like was it 1970?
Yes,
something
1970 New Jersey. Something,
and then you see Peggy Carter, and I'm like, damn it, I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah.
More chips in my mouth. Yeah. Because he, like, looks at, like, he goes to hide in, like, an office, and he sees, like, he's like, why is there a picture of pre-serum me? And then he looks and it says Margaret Carter, and everyone, and then, like, everyone in the theater goes, like that, and I'm just there already, like, like that. And then she comes in on, like, the other office, and I'm like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, I know, and, like, you know me, I'm like, do it, but part of me is like, don't do it, but the other part of me is like, you go to your girl, like, so I'm there, like, so they got those stones, and then when they went to outer space to get the stones, that's when things kind of really went tits up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when things went kind of tits up. And the part where it's like, the thing with Nebula with, like, her
cerebral network.
Yeah, that I wasn't surprised that was going to happen.
No, because that's the setup for the third act.
Right.
It's the necessary evil to end all things. You know?
Right, because it's one of those things where, like, again, as easy as that sounds, of course a plan can't be that easy, especially in a comic book.
As Iron Man, Tony Stark himself said, when you tend to mess with time, it tends to mess with you back.
Again, when it was chosen that it was going to be Hawkeye and Black Widow going to get the Soul Stone, I was like, alright, she's dead. Because I knew they were going to kill her off because, whatchamacallit, because again, story-wise, Black Widow's been in every movie that needs her, you know? Whereas Hawkeye hasn't, you know? Like, I think they were, Renner was supposed to do a cameo in Winter Soldier. Really? But they cut it out because he was doing Bourne Legacy. Oh, okay. And so schedule conflict, he couldn't do it. Okay. And I think, they kept him out of Infinity War, obviously, because they also kept out, God, my glasses are filthy. They also kept out Ant-Man. But again, because Hawkeye is so, like, not there a lot of times, it makes sense that because they kept him on and they started the movie with him, that, like, I was like, alright, they're not gonna do him dirty like that. Right. Plus, according to the trailer, there's still a scene where he's running through a red tunnel, and I don't see any red tunnels on this planet, you know? So, but it was still very, like, heartbreaking watching the two of them. They're such great friends. Being like, no, I'm gonna kill myself. No, I'm gonna kill myself. No, no.
That was good.
Yeah,
that was good. They did that pretty good.
It was very
because they both did it in a way where neither one of them knew what was gonna happen. Right. Until they did it, you know?
Right. They're like, oh, I'm gonna do it. No. Well, they didn't say it. It was just this very, like...
all implied.
Okay, I'm gonna knock you over, and then I'm gonna start running, and then you zap me, and then I fall down, and then you start running, and then I grab you, and then we're hanging off all cliffhanger-like and shit. And then it's like, okay, well, I can't, and then it's just like, bye, bitch, you know? And that was the sad thing, is that, like, with this, how you get the Soul Stone is that even if you snap back, you're not going to come back. Exactly. You know, that's the sad thing. Is that you have to.
Soul.
Yeah, so you have to.
You have to do something, sacrifice something.
Yeah, yeah. So, and again, because the Black Widow movie is also going to start filming in June, so it's like it's fine. We don't have to worry that much about it. But that, of course, was heartbreaking and all that stuff. And like we all knew that it was the. I don't want to say doppelganger, because not really doppelganger, but the past, the 2014 Nebula went back. So, like, when they all, like, zoop, all that stuff, everyone's like, you okay, you okay? And then Hawkeye's just there, like, acting, you know? Because, again, when I was telling you earlier, like, that's what I really enjoyed, is that they actually allowed Renner to act in this movie. In this movie, they allowed him to show his range, that he's really good to just be like, yes, I'm the, you know, sharpshooting, you know, hired assassin guy. I'm good at that. But I'm also, like, again, acting, like, because when he has his, like, emotional, like, scenes, you, like, feel the weight.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just, like, it's not the, it doesn't go in the pretty cry where it's the, like that, where it's the breathing, it's the look into the light kind of thing, and maybe a tear. Like, he goes straight into, like, devastated, like, fuck! Like, you're like, whoa! Where you, like, you're just like, dude.
Yeah,
like
he's way past pretty cries.
You know
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like
so when they found him in Japan after he just bodied the fucking Yakuza dude.
Oh.
Gnats are behind him. He didn't even have to look behind him to know that she was there.
Right. He was just like, let me take off this shit. He's like, bitch, why are you here?
Exactly. And then she tells him the plan, and he's like, don't do that. Don't give me hope. Like, not after all the shit that I've done.
I'm like, bitch, it's too late. 5 years too late. I killed everybody. I left a trail for you to look for me, and now you
I literally left the world tour of bodies. Right. You know what I'm saying? And now you come to me?
By saying there's a way. There's a way, yeah. And it's like, fuck. It was like, fuck you, man. Which I get. Because, again, when you're at that point, you're just, fuck you, you know? Yeah.
Point of no return. You're just like,
oh, yeah. He was,
don't take me. Don't
once
don't
you're murdering
take what
people.
I have. Don't take me from my only solace.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
again,
this is all I have left. Don't take this from me, too.
Yeah, once you're at the point of murder.
Yeah.
I don't know where else you could go from there. More murder? Yeah, that's it. But yeah, again, I like that they allowed the man to show his range because he's a fucking good actor, for God's sakes. Yep. Which I was glad, because I was like, you know how many times I've told you, I was like, he was a waste as Hawkeye because he's such a good actor that they just had him as like, I'm just that, you know, like 46-year-old man who's here, you know, like, okay. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so that happened, and then then we start edging towards the third act, where it's like,
they got all the stones, they're trying to figure out what to do.
And then it's like, they put it in an Iron Man glove thingy, and the Hulk is like, well, we saw how fucked up Thanos got.
Exactly.
Since I could probably survive that, let me put the glove, snap everyone back, and everything should be set, and then we'll go find him and kill him. Like, we'll go back in time, find him and kill him. Cool. Like, cool. That's the plan. Okay, easy. But the whole Nebula thing we were talking about,
right.
And she's, like, while they're doing that, she's like, alright, so, okay, 2014, this plan is, okay, pull the lever. Oh, you're here. So it was just like, 1, 2, 3, snap. Everyone does come back, bless their heart. And, you know, the Hulk is like, oh, my shoulder. You know, that kind of stuff.
You know, like his whole fucking arm.
I know. That was like a leg brace on him. You know?
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. Yeah. It's his fucking arm, but it like, looks like a leg brace.
Yeah, it's like Rhodey's leg brace kind of thing. Yeah. and then that's pretty much the start of the beginnings of the third act, which is just the fight.
Right.
You know?
Because, like,
that's...
that, but then, like, just before the fight, it's like, let's hit you with some more devastation, and then the ship goes back to actual size, and they just like rain hellfire.
Oh yeah,
on Avengers
headquarters,
headquarters, and blow that shit to smithereens.
Right.
Everybody's there reeling, trying to figure out what the fuck just happened.
Hawkeye sees that his phone's ringing and it's his wife, so he knows she's back, and he's like gonna answer the phone, and like,
and boom, all this shit happens.
Right, because again, you're like, Marvel does this thing where they give you a breath of, okay, and then boom, and you're like, ah, shit.
Exactly.
You're like, ah, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Then you do that, and then you're just like, okay. Yeah, and then...
So then they're there, it's like, alright, well, he's here.
Right.
He's pissed. Let's finish the job. They go out there, they start fighting. Yep. They're trying to figure out, you know, how to best to like subdue him. Right. He's overpowering as he is, even without the stone, so like they're struggling because they just got hit with fucking rockets. And they're like, ah! They're not all there, you know what I'm saying? Like, Hulk's under, like, what, 2, like, fucking, like, 40 tons of rocks, trying to make sure, like, Rocket and fucking Rhodey don't get crushed. Yeah, Ant-Man is like, okay, hold on, I'm coming. Yeah. Exactly, so, you know, it's literally just Thor, fucking Iron Man, and Cap just trying to take down Thanos, and that's not enough, you know? Right. It's not nearly enough. Right. You know? And then
Thor was just like, he did the thing where he got both things. Foop, foop. Mm-hmm. He got Stormbreaker and he got Maw. Yeah. Meow meow. Meow meow. Wall. It's meow meow. Wall. Yeah. And he got both of them, and he just got. And then it's like he got his suit back, but still with the tummy. And then his beard got braided, and his hair got coiffed back. And
that was cool.
That was great because he like zoomed. They're like, okay,
cool look.
And a Queer Eye makeover. Hold on, you know.
That was a cool look.
And they got him on that, which is great because he had both of them, and then everyone's like, I got both,
exactly.
Which is great. And then then they start fighting.
Then they start fighting, and then
Cap's shield is down to like
almost nothing.
Just the arm guard, just you know. But Cap, again being Cap, because he could do this all day, he's like, "Fuck it, let me do this."
Right.
And then all of a sudden, like the radio.
Yeah, in his ear, you just hear ticks, ticks, ticks. You're like, "Wait, what the fuck is happening?"
He was like,
"But before that, though, before you even get to that." They're fighting Thanos, and just when you're thinking he's gonna have to fucking kill Thor, Mjolnir gets picked up by fucking Cap. That was fucking awesome. Cause those 2 minutes where he's like tossing his shield, smacking him with the hammer to hit him back and shit. That shit was really fucking awesome. Let's not be cheap on that.
Yes, I forgot where that happened.
I forgot. We definitely had to mention that because like. Everybody suspected it, and even Thor suspected it. Well, and then when he did pick it up, he was just like, I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Yeah, because, like I said, Cap is worthy of that. He's definitely worthy.
Without a doubt.
For fuck's sakes. Like we were talking about, like, the whole, like, who will be chosen for the serum stuff. Mm-hmm. And, like, everyone else pushed out, especially the whole grenade part. Yeah. You know, and he's fucking worthy, because he's fucking Cap. Again, like, he even said, he was, like, even... Again, in all the movies, the whole, you know, the thing where I can do this all day kind of stuff. Even in the movie where he says to Natasha, like, if this doesn't work, I don't know what I'll do if it doesn't. Because then he might be like Ronin.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
He'll just go off himself.
Because it's like, what am I, like, I'm literally exhausted all my feelings and all my energy to get everyone back. And if it doesn't work, what the fuck else, you know? Yeah, like, I get it. So... Again, Cap is fucking worthy, and, because, like, you know, like, Stormbreaker is against Thor's chest, because Thanos is like, I'm gonna kill him with it, and you're just like, and all I'm thinking is like, oh god, I know, because, again, they also hint that, like, an Avenger is gonna die at the end of this, you know, movie, and I'm like, oh, come on, man, like, he just got his groove back, you know, and then you see Mjolnir, like, the background just kind of, like, starting to float, and you're like, it could be that he's summoning it, it's totally fine, but then, like, it hits Thanos, it comes back, and it's Cap holding it, and the audience is like, well, because everyone's losing it, which it makes sense, because that's when I was like gripping onto your hand, like,
that shit was awesome, because he's like in full zhuzh, because
like hammer, shield,
I guess from him seeing Thor use the hammer all that time, he picked up some tricks of his own, because he was laying into Thanos pretty good, you know what I'm saying, just like, Thunder Strike, boom, you know what I'm saying, like, God. Smack him with it, bring it back, hit him with the shield, bounce the hammer off the shield, bounce the shield off the hammer, just like boom, 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 boom,
that was
boom,
amazing.
Boom, lightning, just crazy, like, oh shit, okay, nigga, like, damn, where the fuck you learned all that, you know?
He's like, from one of my boyfriends, from one of my many boyfriends, okay? He has many boyfriends, you know that.
Stop.
And that just happened to one of his pretty blonde boyfriends.
But anyway,
yes, that was fucking amazing.
That was a great
fight. The audience had that nerdgasm.
Right.
When we saw Avengers, when they said Hulk smash, that was like that same like yes kind of
that
moment.
That shit was dope. And then Thanos just having to let everybody know, like, my dick is bigger, and smack the shit out of him, even with that power.
Yeah,
and then you're like, fuck, like, damn, what the hell's gonna happen?
And then
Cap does his thing,
right? And then like, all of Thanos's
I ain't scared of you. Fuck it, let's go.
Right, and he's like,
and then all you hear is tick tick, tick
right.
tick, tick
like,
tick.
what? And he's like,
tick, because like even the way the ticks were going was like
with the
first
music?
cue of the third act music, where he's just like,
it's with the music, so you don't really notice it at first.
Cap. You know what I'm saying? You're like, Cap.
It's Sam.
You're like,
what?
Sam. You're like, what? Sam. Like, what the fuck? And then that's when you realize, like, oh yeah, everybody's back.
Yeah.
You know?
And then he does the on your left thing.
He's like, on your left, and then you just see Doctor Strange portal open up, and you're just like, Oh shit! Like,
and then T'Challa
shows up. He's got Okoye with him. He's got a sister, and they're just there, like, yeah, it's on. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, wait, no, it really is on. And then you just see mad portals open up, and everybody rolls through. The whole Wakandan fucking army rolling out. Fucking all the fucking sorcerers coming in, bringing in all types of fucking people. Fucking Wanda's there. Like, everybody's there. Just roll deep, like, on some, like, waiting for the word, you know?
And everyone on that planet shows up, and when Spidey shows up, everyone's like, yes! Because we're like a baby boy, you know? Yeah. Yeah, everyone's like, ah!
Yeah, nah, that shit was fucking...
Oh my god.
That shit was fucking
And
dope.
then it wasn't, it's like, because again, at first it was just Cap here, just tiny little Cap, and then all of Thanos' people, and you're like, and you're like, oh god, now Cap's gonna... Because you're at this thing of, oh my god, Thor's gonna die. Now you're like, oh god, Cap's gonna die. You know? But then it's like... And then this is that nerdgasm, that third act, that thing that we all love about these superhero movies, where it's that, like, final, like, get up, fuck you moment that we all love, which was an amazing fuck you moment.
Yeah.
You know? And then Valkyrie on her horse... that was the main point, is that she had her horse, and then she had her sword, and she was like, let me break the spaceship, excuse you, yeah, but like, everyone showed up, and like, Korg was there. It's like, I might just gotta get you, you know? Everyone showed up, and it was amazing. You got the Wakandan army, like you said, all the wizards and all that stuff. They were they were all there to fight, what's like, what do you call them, Squidward? In the other movie, I love that because he kind of looks like Squidward. And then they go off, and then you just see them like, ah, and you're like, yes, and then it becomes the Battle of Pelennor Fields in Return of the King.
Basically, one of those.
When it's like, ride with me, and you're like, yeah, you go, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, and all that set it off was Avengers Assemble. That's all he said.
Yeah,
and that was it. The music just was perfect for that movie.
Perfectly, and then you saw all his other boyfriends show up. What? Falcon and definitely Bucky's his boyfriend, you know.
So they're going in. It's like the third act is on. Like,
the music is like soaring.
Is cute. Like everybody's in their glory, fucking rushing in to like start the fight.
It is a CGI mess, not a bad mess like the Hellboy movie, but you know it's a whole lot of that going on. But you don't care. You're like, fucking, these are ones and zeros fighting one another right now, and I don't care.
Yeah, this is what we came for. You know
right, and it's amazing ones and zeros fighting, not like, let me just... I'm in front of a green screen. Whoa! Like, not that shit we saw previously. Yeah, it was just like, yeah, oh my god, and then, like, Quill runs into 2014 Gamora, and, like, remember, she, like, looks at Nebula, she was like, that's him? And Nebula's like, yeah, it was either him or a tree. I was like, damn, bitch.
Well, she wasn't wrong.
Because what, you gonna go with Rocket?
Yeah, you can go with fucking...
Or Drax?
Drax?
Who was like...
An asshole?
Yeah, it was
among assholes?
Yeah.
You know? Not happening.
Oh my god.
At all.
It was just... it was a good battle scene and all that stuff. And then the end where I started to, like, really tear up was... Well, actually, before we go to that...
Yes. I want to say, hold on. Let's not go there.
The ladies, it was ladies' night. It was ladies' choice.
Yes. That was fucking dope as shit.
When Scarlet Witch was like,
Spidey has the fucking Infinity Gauntlet, the new Infinity Gauntlet.
Right.
And they're trying to get it to...
Scott's van.
Yes, to Scott's van.
Yeah.
And it's like way on the other side of the fucking battlefield.
Because it has to be, yes.
Because, you know, it has to be.
It has to be, yeah.
So...
Can't just be like, all right.
Yeah, like, everybody's, you know, passing it along, trying to get it. And eventually, Spidey gets it. And when he gets knocked down, and he's, like, trying to figure out what the hell's happening.
Holding it, and he's like, oh, god, fuck, yeah. And Captain Marvel shows up. Because the spaceship...
Yeah, at that point, when Spidey's running... He gets his ass whipped by Scarlet Witch. He's getting his ass whipped by Scarlet Witch, where she has him in the air on some like holding him by the neck, literally peeling the armor off of his skin. Shit.
And he's
that
like,
shit was fucking dumb.
he was like
rain, fire,
and he's like, but
our troops. Fuck them,
right? He's like, but my armor, bitch.
He's like, rain, fire.
And so they rain fire down, and they're all like, wait, shields, all that stuff, yeah.
Exactly, everybody's trying not to fucking die and shit.
Yeah.
And then, like, a few minutes later, the big gun herself just comes soaring through the fucking sky.
Yeah, because then the big guns were shooting in the sky. They're like, what's that? They're like, something just entered our atmosphere. And it's like, bitch, what's up? I know you guys only know me for like a month and a half right now, but you're welcome.
Exactly, like, let me remind you who I is.
Yeah.
And literally tears through Thanos' ship like
fuck you.
Fucking paper mache.
Right.
You know, like nothing.
And she goes to Spider-Man, and poor little baby boy is there like holding the thing. He's like, hi, I'm Peter Parker.
I'm Peter Parker.
And she's well, also Brie Larson, you know, because she's worked with like kid actors. I'm not saying he's a kid, but she's like, hi, Peter Parker. Like just like a very cute.
She always has this like smirk on her face.
Yeah.
It's like she knows she's damn near invincible.
Yeah.
So she's just there like, hey, Peter Parker.
And she's like, okay. He's like, I got it. And then he's like, how are you gonna get through it? And she's like, bah! He's like, how are you gonna get through it?
Like, oh, he doesn't know me very well. It's all right. And then before she can even respond, you have another assemble moment where like we were saying before, it's Ladies' Choice Night, where all the fucking females show up.
We forgot to mention. Well, we'll mention it anyway. Go on.
So I remember what her name is now.
Yeah.
Siren.
Uh-huh.
Penny. That's Pepper when she's wearing the
Iron
Man.
Okay, yeah.
The Iron Man armor.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why I said we forgot to mention. Because when everyone showed up, Pepper showed up in the suit that Tony was like working on like 5 years later, that kind of stuff. So that's another part where the audience was like, because everyone's back, we're like, yeah, we're back, and then they're like, oh shit! And she was like, all right, I'm ready to fight. You know, this is very violent, but I had a little taste in Iron Man 3, and I kind of like it. You know, yeah.
Well, that's why he always has plans upon plans.
He's not stupid, yeah.
He's not stupid, and she's not stupid either. Like,
right.
She had to know like this was eventually going to happen, and then when she agreed to let him, you know, go do it, she had to agree to, okay, I gotta wear this armor when the time comes. You know?
But yeah, when all the ladies showed up.
All the ladies literally show up.
Because Peter was like, how's she gonna get it over there?
How you gonna get it over there?
And then all the ladies
like, yo, don't worry.
She's got help.
She's got help. And then you see her.
Valkyrie.
Scarlet Witch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all the ladies.
All the ladies just show up and they're like, oh, we got her. You know, and they just go to work on anything and everything in their sight. Yeah. And then fucking
Cap like tries to
Cap
fly.
being a straight fucking running back just plows through the middle.
Yep.
You know, just straight crazy.
Oh my god.
Straight crazy. Thanos being a sore loser, of course.
Had to throw his
fucking double-sided sword shit at the fucking shit and blew up the fucking truck.
Yeah, because he's a bitch. Well, that's the whole point of this, is the big guy is a bitch. And what was the thing you were saying when we were gonna go eat? You said something like the women fuck them up more.
Oh yeah, I was saying how, like, you know, all the Avengers had their licks in on them, but like seemingly when it comes to like visible damage, like mostly it's the females who really hurt him the most. You know, like Scarlet Witch was literally peeling the armor off of him. Like everybody else was fighting him, and he was just like taking his licks and then giving back twice as much.
She was like,
Scarlet Witch, when she was with him, really put the beats on him, and like that's when he had to call the rain fire type shit, because he realized like, if I don't get like some bitch off me, like I'm gonna fucking die. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And then he fucking fighting Cap, and Cap is like, what you gonna do, son?
Right, because
you can't stop me. And it's like literally fucking grabbing him up, like wrapped herself around his fucking neck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like punching him in the face, and grabs his hand, and he's like trying to move it, and he's like, why the fuck is my hand not moving?
Right.
And then he tries, fuck that. Punches her, and she's just like,
she just kind of looks at him
like, really?
Like,
I'm literally holding your hand back, and you can't move an inch, and you think a punch is gonna stop me?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh fuck.
I like that
he bitches out, and grabs a power stone to get her off. Like, yeah, you had to do that, dude. Like,
right.
There was no other way you were getting that bitch to move.
Right. And I like how, like, she didn't flinch. It's because of the force of him punching her. Mm-hmm. But I like how she just kind of went like, really? Like, it was like that kind of like...
It was one of those, you know what I'm saying? Like, the sound that they made for it was just...
It was great.
It was perfect. It was just like, yeah, that's what it would be like.
Was it like... No.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
she was like, really?
You know? Because, like, it was basically the equivalent of, like, everybody making those memes or, like, talking about the previews when they showed, Black Widow shooting their gun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, everyone's like, oh, like, everybody's like, why is she shooting a gun? And everybody's like, you know, when she's going to fight Thanos, it's just like, now you know why. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the same equivalent as, like, why is he trying to punch, like, the strongest, one of the strongest beings in the universe?
She is the strongest Avenger, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not gonna work, you know?
It was just, I just loved that where it was just like a boop. And it just, the look on her face is like, really? Like that.
Like, really, dude?
Like that face of like, really?
Yeah, because I was like, those are like the few moments where you literally got to see Thanos sweat. Where he's just like, oh shit. Like,
right. Where he was just
I may not win. Like, this is not cool. Like, I don't like this, you know?
He's like, I'm about to get beaten up by a bunch of girls.
Yeah, he definitely didn't like that feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
You know?
And then finally, like, the very end. Oh, that was outside. I'm like, what the fuck is that sound? Sorry. I was like, I'm like, there's no cops, right? Shit! I didn't check this time. Fuck! I didn't check this time. Shit! We got home early too.
Oh God! Let's hope I'm not with that.
That's a fire truck. That's fire truck sirens. Right. Fire truck sirens. Yeah, because
I'm going upstairs if that's the shit.
I'm like, that's fire truck sirens because there's a fire.
Shit.
Yeah. I was like,
I'm not getting shot today.
Oh God! Run, E.T. Anyway, sorry. Back to we're about to go with like the like the thing of the movie. Anyway, so you know the whole time Doctor Strange is trying to keep this tsunami of water from flooding the whole thing. So that's just like his whole thing. And there's like a quick exchange a little bit early into the third act. Tony talks to Doctor Strange. He was like, all right, so all the possibilities, is this the one possibility that we win? And, you know, Doctor Strange is like, well, if I tell you, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
At one point where it's like, it seems like, oh God, Thanos might get this gauntlet and he might just do it all over again. Or even worse.
Right.
You know? And then, you know, Strange is doing that whole thing and he just looks at Tony and just goes, what? And so you know you're like he's like, okay, I didn't want to tell you, but now he's like, this is the time we win.
Exactly.
So, like, Tony just goes and, like, just snatches all the stones off, like, real quick, like, like, kind of thing.
Well, that's the thing, like,
it doesn't look like that.
It didn't look like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, when he said that one thing, everybody's, you know, literally scrapping with him to get it off. Like, everybody's there. Like, you got, I think, Witch tried to get him.
Everyone.
And he got knocked off. Like, she got knocked off. Like, everybody's, like, literally putting their last licks in to try to stop him.
Right.
And, you know, Thanos being Thanos still is like fucking dumb strong and fucking, you know, fends everybody off.
Right.
And just when then he gets actually gets the gauntlet on and he's there like
he's like, I am inevitable.
Yeah, I am inevitable. He's like flipping his hand. He's like, what the fuck? And you look at the glove, there's no stones on it. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, you may be inevitable, but
he's like
Iron Man. He's like, but me, I'm Iron Man.
I am Iron Man.
Snaps
and he just snaps it, and because of the power, he's like, shit. And because of it, he gets all fucked up, and he snaps it, so all the bad people are gone. Like, all the 2014 people are, like, all that stuff is gone. Which is great, because then they all, dust away, and it's fine, and like, fuck all y'all, you know? But then he is left, like, fucked up, because, again, he's not the Hulk. Mm-hmm. You know, he's not someone that can handle stuff like that.
He's just a regular human being.
He's just a regular human being, you know? So he's fucked up, and that's when I started to... I didn't start tearing up. I knew it was happening. I was like, fuck, okay, he's gonna die. But fucking baby boy, he's like, Mr. Stark! And I'm like, shut up! He's like, beautiful thing in the movie when they do that is that, like, no score. There was, like, no score.
Nope.
And it's just the ambient sound of the scene. Mm-hmm. So it's just, like, it's quiet. You just hear just, like, it's like a bit of wind, like, like, that's it.
All the bad guys are fading away.
It's just...
Thanos is just looking around with this lost look in his face because he knows he's defeated. And
and then he slowly just dusts away.
Sits down and then just dusts away.
Yeah. But it was just so beautiful, just how, like, quiet it was. And again, all you hear is just... And everyone is there like, oh, God, you know? And then it was quite awful, but, like, good awful, you know, because that's how you want to, like I was telling him, like, that's how you want to die in these kind of movies. You want a heroic death, which is why them like, yes, losing to Thanos in the last movie, but then just like, yes, they lost, but it was also like, we lost this fight, but then suddenly it's like, oh my God, you know, like, I'm fading away kind of stuff. Yeah, that's fucking awful, you know, because it's like, we lost the fight and half of us are gone. Like, fuck! You know, like, that's fucking awful, you know? So, they did that, and it was great, and then they had the funeral scene, and then, like, and then they panned to everyone that obviously has been involved in all the movies, even the little boy in Iron Man 3, which he was like, who's that?
This fucking kid.
I was like, the little boy in Iron Man 3. Because someone behind us, like, during the credits, they were asking someone, they were like, who's that kid? And they were like, oh, he was in Iron Man 3. The kid from Iron Man 3. And everyone's like, oh! Because it's like...
Yeah, because it's 5 years into the future. So if he was... He'd be grown at that point. You know
right, exactly. He'd be like a big kid now, yeah.
He'd damn near be almost in his 20s.
He'd probably be in his 20s. Because that kid was like...
Iron Man 3 was a while ago.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he was already like pushing tween at that point.
Right, because Iron Man 3 was, I think, 2013.
Exactly.
2013, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, exactly. So he was there. You quickly saw, like, a shot of Colby Smulders. Of course, you see Brie Larson. And then you gotta, you know, linger the camera on the baddest motherfucker of all time for a little bit longer. And that's when I, like, squeezed your hand, like, yes! Like, we know that he was coming back, but it's Sam motherfucking Jackson, you know? Like, you gotta just be, thank you, you know? Just more like, thank you. Because you called that Cap, and we got help, you know? Like, I'm just saying, yeah. And then, you know, the movie ended, and the you know, they did the credits, and then they did for the original 6, they had, like, the special autograph credits, which was great.
Right.
You know, and of course it ends with, you know, Robert Downey Jr. because it, like you were saying, it started with him, it's ending with him.
Exactly.
You know, like I was saying before, it's like how you knew how Lost was going to end. It was going to end with him in the freaking bamboo, you know, was closing his eyes kind of thing. You knew it was going to do that. And it was great, and there's no after-credit sequence, which I knew there wasn't, but I just wanted to just make sure, because I'm that asshole.
I just wasn't ready to leave at that point.
Right.
I needed a time, like, a time to let all this wash over me.
Right, so I'm like, let's watch the credits, let's sit here, let's talk, I'm sitting there, and of course they, like, the moment the credits hit, they turn on the lights immediately. You know, normally they
they turn the lights on as soon as the credits was over. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's thinking, everybody thinking, okay, you know, there's gonna be something. I'm like, no, it's really over. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, like, they turned on the lights, but it was still, like, bright lights, because normally, you know, they slowly faded up, and I was like, wait, I'm not done wiping away my tears. I wasn't crying. I swear to God. I swear I wasn't crying. Like I said, the girl next to me, she was, like, next to her guy like this, and then, like, when sad things would happen, I noticed she would kind of, like, get more like you know, in there, and then when it was like stuff with like, and also I noticed that couple was kind of reacting how we were reacting. Well, because we were being kind of loud because fuck you. So when we were like, yeah, the guy, like the girl was kind of like, okay, you know. Damn, there was one part you said something that was funny, and I actually heard the guy laugh. I forgot what it was. It was during the third act, so one of the many thousand things you probably shouted out. But the guy was kind of like, you know. But the part where it was when Tony was dying, I just see the girl like doing that with her guy, and I was like, girl, me too. But I'm just, you know, just sniffling and patting my nose and my eyes. Not crying. I'm just tearing up a little. I was cutting onions 3 days ago, and it's just kidding me now, okay? And I ran out of nachos to shove in my face so I wouldn't cry. But no, all in all, it's one of those thank you, but like this review is probably as long as the goddamn movie.
Yeah,
but
I have edited it down a little bit.
A little, not much. I don't give a shit if this is long. Hey, I talked over an hour about Gem and the Holograms. I can talk longer about Endgame for fuck's sakes. Yes.
Okay, never mind.
Well, I went through that movie scene by scene because some movies are so bad you have to go through it scene by scene.
Never mind.
Yeah. I always use that one as a comparison because it's one of the longer ones. Or something close to equivalent is that made-for-TV movie, Aaliyah movie, which, yeah, that was really bad. So that one I also went really long, too.
You didn't even have rights to her music.
No, and that's what made it amazing. Anyway, back on track. No, just probably not going to edit much down. But anyway, yes, again, I felt this was a good end. Like I was saying, like with the Logan movie, where it was the fans watching it, seeing it end, seeing a character die, and being like, "Thank you." Right. You know, exactly.
So now here we've come to the wrap up.
Yep.
And they've got to put everything back the way it was. They got the stones. Cap volunteers to take the stones back and put them back where they're supposed to be. And he does just that. But on supposedly coming back just at that moment when he was supposed to be coming back, they notice he didn't come back exactly the way he was supposed to. You know what I'm saying? They're like, wait, what the hell just happened? Where is he? Bucky notices, and he sees where he is.
Sitting right
there by the lakeside, and tells, Falcon to, go talk to his boy.
Right.
He's like, yeah, go talk to him, man. It's alright. So he goes to talk to him.
And they have Evans in, I'm not sure if they have Evans in partial old makeup or just full CGI old. It looked a little bit of both. But, again, that's me. But he's old, you know. Cap is pretty much the age he's supposed to be. Well, I think now he's like 105 or something like that. But he's old, where he's supposed to be old, kind of thing, And he hands his shield down to Falcon, which is great because that's canon with the comic that Falcon does become Cap, which angered certain stupid people, but who cares about their feelings because they don't have any. Yeah, which is amazing. Which, like I said, if the Falcon and Winter Soldier show actually happens on the Disney whatever streaming thing, then fuck it, I want to see what happens, because they're great actors. Those are great characters I would like to follow, And then you see that Cap has a ring on his finger, and then they show him, because he was like, oh, I decided to, live a life kind of thing. And, we all knew it, but we had to see it. Mm-hmm. And then it's because he lived a life with Peggy, and I'm like, I was done crying, There's so many onions in this room! I was just I was cutting onions 3 days ago, why am I crying now? It's so weird!
Oh, man, that was
yeah. So, the thing that a lot of people wanted actually did happen. People wanted Cap to be happy and to be with Peggy again. And part of you is like, well, how is that going to happen? Mm-hmm. Was he going to travel back in time? Well, look what he did.
Exactly.
And he got to be with her, and she got to be happy, and then die happy.
I'm just hoping they got some kids. That's what I'm hoping.
Probably. Probably. Because in the other movie, he visited her, until she passed. But now it's he's with her all the time. You know what I mean? It's better than before. Right. Yeah. But, yeah. It's a good-ass movie. And, I don't know, man. When summer blockbusters start playing, I don't know, man. This is a high tier to...
yeah, nobody's beating this. I'm sorry.
Maybe Godzilla.
Yeah.
Maybe Godzilla. Maybe Godzilla's gonna beat this. But other than that,
if it doesn't beat it, then it'll definitely give it a good run for its money.
Right. And then Spider-Man's gonna come out in July, so...
Right.
But,
now we know when it takes place. It's post Endgame, like the world's been set right, but still knows what just happened. You know?
Right.
But luckily for Spider-Man, nobody knows who he is.
Right, exactly. But yeah. Actually, if it's 5 years later, Spider-Man should be in college. Well, actually, probably college.
Should be.
Yeah, because I was like, when's he going back to high school? Why is Ned there unless he stayed back? Anyway, let's not delve into that. Fuck that shit. Don't explain it. Don't explain it. Don't explain it. I don't care about that.
The movie will take care of it.
Whatever. It's not a plot hole. Shut up. Shut up, Stephanie. No one cares about your opinion. All right. This is probably 3 hours long as it is. All right. Bye.
Deuce.